All right, guys, good morning. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be reviewing your informational writing test, okay? So in order for you guys to follow along with me, you guys are all going to go to Google Classroom, and it's either going to be under classwork and you can go to an ELA at the top, or you can click on stream. And at the very top of your screen, you'll see that informational writing test, and you're going to open it up with Cami. So I want everyone to go ahead and do that now. I know some of you guys are still taking your assessments. You guys can take your assessments. You can complete them later. I'll give you guys time today to complete those assessments. So you're going to have to click stream was updated. Click show, Angelica. Angelica, click show. Then this one, the one at the very top where it says Ashley Park posted a new assignment via Cami. You're going to click open with Cami. There you go. Now you're going to click open with Cami. All right, and then the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our pencil tool. And it looks like she already has it on her pencil tool. All right, your class has been learning about how people can make a difference. Your teacher has asked you to write an informational article about how people can make a difference. Before you decide what to write about, you will read two passages or sources that provide information about Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross. So let's go ahead and underline that. Yes.
It isn't letting me in. It's because I need a copy.
Okay. Let's go back and see how we can do that. Okay, click open with Cami again. All right, it looks like it's working. Okay, so what you're gonna do is with that drawing tool, you're gonna underline Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross. Those are gonna be the two organizations that we're gonna be learning about today. After you have looked at these passages or sources, you will answer some questions about them. Look at the passages and the three questions that follow, then go back and read the passages carefully. They will give you information you will need to answer the questions and write an informational article. In part 2, you will write an informational article using information from the two passages. Directions for part 1. You will now look at the two passages or sources. You can look at either of the passages as often as you like. After looking at the passages, use the rest of the time in part 1 to answer 3 questions about them. Your answers will not be scored, so you can cross that out. Your answers to these questions will not be scored, so cross that out. Also, your answers will help you think about the information you have read, which should help you write your informational article. You may look at the passages or sources when you think they would be helpful. You may also look at your notes. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue. I'm going to read the two stories now, okay? Source number 1, helping build homes. Habitat for Humanity is a group that thinks that everyone should have a safe home. Many people live in unsafe homes. Habitat builds and repairs homes for people who need them. Okay, so Habitat for Humanity, it's a group. So I'm going to circle that word. It's a group. And they try to give everyone safe homes. So let's underline safe homes. So they either build safe homes. They might even, or maybe there's already a home, maybe and it's unsafe. So then they repair it. And then people who help build or repair these homes are called volunteers. So go ahead and circle those words. I am also recording the lesson. So if you need to go back and review what we are underlining and circling, you can always go ahead and rewatch this. Volunteers are people who give their time without pay. People and businesses donate building materials free of charge. Families buy the homes for fair prices. Habitat started in the United States. Now Habitat builds homes all over the world. Okay, so people volunteer and they donate. People can donate materials like wood or maybe some paint. Maybe they donate furniture. Adults and children can volunteer for Habitat. People can help in many ways. So it's for both adults and children, okay? I'm gonna circle that. Some volunteers help build and repair homes. Those volunteers must be at least 16 years of age. Oh, we have a new speaker. How come you're so late, Matthew? Okay, we're working on our informational writing. You need to access this through Google Classroom, okay? They can learn new skills. Volunteers are called weekday warriors. Most of the work is done on weekdays. Many volunteers like to paint or swing a hammer. Habitat has people who train volunteers to work at a build site. Some people volunteer at Habitat offices. Okay, so not only do they help fix and rebuild and what are the words? Build and repair homes, but they can also work in offices. So in an office, you guys know, in an office, you answer phone calls, they file papers, they might work on computers. Habitat owns stores called Restores. Okay, so they have a place called Restores, and Restores sell new and used goods. So if you guys have ever been to a Restore, or if you guys have ever been to like a Salvation Army, or if you've ever been to a thrift store like Goodwill, those are all places where you can sell new and used goods. And so people can work at Restores, and all of that money goes to help Habitat for Humanity. Some store volunteers fill shelves, others run cash registers and help customers. Volunteers also help plan Habitat projects. Others are needed to help raise money. Children can volunteer for Habitat too. Okay, so this is important information. They can help raise money for Habitat. Children can raise money through bake sales, car washes, and candy and flower sales. So there's different ways they can raise money. So let's just circle that. They can raise money. Kids can also donate. Okay, so kids can also donate their coins through coin drives. So I'm going to circle coin drives called Nickels for Nails. Ooh, and that's the name of the coin drive that they have. So I'm going to underline Nickels for Nails. Kids younger than 16 cannot help build houses because it's too dangerous for them. There are some things they can do at build sites. They can help make and serve food to volunteers. Okay, so they can make and serve food. They can also help plant flowers, bushes, and trees. So even though they can't help build homes, there are other things that children can do. All right, guys. Next page. Habitat has fun. So if you did not finish underlining and circling, you can always rewatch this YouTube video. Habitat has fun activities for children. Some cities have Habitat summer programs. Okay, so they have summer programs for kids called kids camps. Children 5 and older can go there to learn why it is important to help others. Some children learn about building tools. Okay, so they can learn about helping others. They can learn about tools to help build things, and they can learn how to make their homes more earth friendly. Habitat has clubs for children. Ooh, they even have clubs for children. Let's go ahead and circle that. Club members learn why fairly priced housing is important. Okay, so fairly priced housing is important. They teach children new skills, how to work together, and Habitat for Humanity hopes club members will volunteer for Habitat when they grow up. All right, guys, I'm going to move on to the next story now. So if you did not finish, you can always rewatch this on YouTube. Source number 2, helping people in need. The American Red Cross helps people in many ways. Ooh, let's circle that. So we learned about Habitat for Humanity. Now we're going to learn about the American Red Cross. They help people when there are accidents or emergencies. The Red Cross helps soldiers and their families, and they teach safety classes. I've been a part of an American Red Cross safety class. If all of your teachers had to get like first aid training, they had to get CPR training. And so all of those trainings that they had to get done were done through the American Red Cross. The Red Cross also works with volunteers in other countries. Many people can be hurt by disasters or sudden events that cause a lot of loss. There are many kinds of disasters. Disasters can be small, like house fires. A house fire might only involve one family. Disasters can be large, like hurricanes. A hurricane could involve thousands of families. The Red Cross gives people food. Okay, so let's underline that. Medical care and a place to stay after disasters. The American Red Cross helps those in the armed forces. So we learned about that. They help soldiers and their families. The Red Cross helps soldiers who have been hurt. Okay, so they help soldiers who have been hurt. The Red Cross helps soldiers and families stay in touch. They help with writing letters or sending packages. They also help the soldiers who are away from their loved ones. The Red Cross teaches safety classes, and we just learned about that up there. They teach first aid classes. Remember I talked about that? For adults and children. There are classes that teach children to swim and about water safety. And then teenagers and adults can learn how to be lifeguards. The Red Cross even teaches children to become careful babysitters. Wow. So the Red Cross has a lot of different classes you can learn about first aid, about water safety, and about being a babysitter. The American Red Cross works with volunteers. So again, the American Red Cross has volunteers just like Habitat for Humanity. They help with emergencies in other parts of the world. They also work to keep people in other countries safe. The Red Cross wants to involve children. Oh, so just like Habitat for Humanity, they have clubs for children. The clubs for Red Cross are called Red Cross clubs. And they have online and printed activity guides, and they're activities that teach children how to help others. And they help children plan those activities. Okay, Dimitri, I see you typing in the chat. I hope you're underlining and circling all of these things on your own page. The Red Cross has many ways children can help. Children can help soldiers by volunteering at hospitals. Okay, so they can volunteer at hospitals. Children can also write letters to soldiers through the Holiday Mail for Heroes program. Children can also help after emergencies. They can help with food and clothing drives. They can hand out food and water, just like the children at Habitat for Humanity. And they can also help others by taking different classes. Remember when I said that they can take classes? Let's box that. They can use these skills to help people who are hurt. Children can also take babysitter training, These classes help them become safe babysitters. Teenagers can learn to be lifeguards. Lifeguards can help save lives. These are all great ways for children to help others. All right, guys, we're going to answer questions 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to review what you're going to be writing tomorrow. Which ideas about how people can make a difference are found in both helping build homes and helping people in need? Pick 2 choices. So this one, you guys can unmute and answer. Do both of them tell how adults can help people? Do both of them tell how adults can help people? Are there adults that help in Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, do they both talk about soldiers helping soldiers?
Yes.
Let's look back. So definitely American Red Cross
No.
about helping soldiers, but for Habitat for Humanity, it's a group that helps everyone, a lot of people who need safe places to live. But it doesn't say anything about soldiers particularly. So I'm gonna say no. What about children can help people? Do they both talk about how children can help people?
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Do they both talk about how people hurt by disasters need help? Okay, well, here the American Red Cross talks about disasters. Habitat for Humanity is about having safe homes. So it doesn't really talk about disasters as much as American Red Cross does. So I'm going to say no. And then people can help by working in a store.
No.
No, that was only Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity has stores called Restores. So it does tell us to pick 2 choices. So what are our best answers, guys?
A and C.
Yes,
B
adults
and
can
C.
help people and children can help people. The passages of helping build homes and helping people in need discuss ways people can make a difference. Write a paragraph. We're not going to write a paragraph. So let's cross that out. About what you have learned about how people can help others. Use at least one detail from each passage in your answer. Okay, so the first one, so let's write source number 1. Actually, I should probably just type this. Okay, source number 1. Okay, so what is one way that people can help others in helping build homes? How does Habitat for Humanity help others? What did they do, guys?
Build homes for people.
They build or repair homes for people. Very good. I know some of you guys are saying you didn't finish, but you can, I'll give you guys time later to work on that. They help build or repair homes. Okay, what about source number 2? How do they help others? What does the American Red Cross do? Who just joined our meeting? Kendall? Kendall, why are you so late?
I woke up late.
Okay, well, you already missed our grammar test, so you're going to need to take your grammar test on your own.
They make safer homes.
Sorry, one more time. I didn't hear what you said. What does the American Red Cross do?
They build homes for people who don't have safe homes.
Okay, so that's Habitat for Humanity. What about so we already answered that one. So what about American Red Cross? What does the American Red Cross do?
They help people after disasters. They help people after disasters and they help soldiers too.
Very good. So they help people after disasters. They help soldiers. And there's one more. What do they also do? They teach what?
They teach They train class.
They train classes. Very good. So Habitat for Humanity helps build or repair homes. And then American Red Cross helps people in disasters. They help soldiers and they help teach classes. So let's actually write that too. I know some of you guys already wrote this, so we'll write it right here. Habitat for Humanity. So this is Habitat for Humanity. And then this is the American Red Cross. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and copy paste this. All right. If you need more time, you can put it, it is in the chat. Okay, write a paragraph. We're not going to write a paragraph again. So I'm going to go back to my drawing tool, cross it out. About how children help people, Talk about how children's clubs help children learn to make a difference. In your answer, use at least one detail from helping build homes and then one detail from helping people in need. Let me get that out again. So this is source number one again. Habitat for Humanity. So how do children's clubs help children learn to make a difference? So let's reread. Okay, so Habitat has clubs for children. Club members learned why fairly priced housing is important. The club teaches children new skills, and they also teach children how to work together. Habitat for Humanity hopes club members will volunteer for Habitat when they grow up. So what did I just read? Can anyone repeat what I just said? What does the Habitat for Humanity clubs do?
They help people in need, and they learn why. They teach children how to be safe and how to swim, and they help people.
That's American Red Cross. That's American Red Cross. We're talking about Habitat for Humanity. So let me reread, okay? So Habitat has clubs for children. Club members learn why fairly priced housing is important. The clubs teach children new skills. They also teach children how to work together. Habitat for Humanity hopes club members will volunteer for Habitat when they grow up. So what does Habitat for Humanity's clubs do? What's the first thing?
They teach.
Yes? They teach about what?
About why is it
Fairly priced housing. So when you buy a house, they want to make sure that, especially for Habitat for Humanity, when they sell houses, houses can be very expensive. So they try to create houses that are fairly priced so that people who are in need can buy them. Okay, they teach them how to use tools. They teach them how to work together. And so that hopefully one day they can work and help build and repair houses for Habitat. Now let's move on to source number 2. Now, source number 2 is about the American Red Cross. So Angelica, you had the right idea for source number 2. So what does the American Red Cross Children's Clubs do? And we're talking about for the children, not for adults.
they help?
Okay, the Red Cross has many ways children can help. Children can help soldiers by volunteering at hospitals. Children can also write letters to soldiers through the Holiday Mail for Heroes program. Children can help after emergencies. They can help with food and clothing drives. Children can hand out food and water. Children can also help others by taking different classes. Children can take first aid classes. They can use these skills to help people who are hurt. Children can also take babysitter training classes. These classes help them become safe babysitters. Teenagers can also learn to be lifeguards. Lifeguards help save lives. These are all great ways for children to help others. The Red Cross wants to involve children. Children can join Red Cross clubs that let children help in their communities. Red Cross clubs have online and printed activity guides. These guides list activities that help others. The guides also help children plan these activities. So the specific question is, how do children clubs help children learn to make a difference? So then they teach, so they have activities to help their community. And we talked about some of those ways. So this one's going to be a little bit longer, but this is going to help you with tomorrow's test. So they can write letters to soldiers. They can take safety classes. And then you can be more specific, like what kind of safety classes? They could take first aid classes. They can take babysitter classes. And they can also help pass out food to people in need. They can also donate, have drives, just like in Habitat for Humanity. All right, so this was question number 3. The last thing we're gonna do, because we only have about 10 minutes left in class, is I'm gonna explain your writing. I'm not gonna assign your writing test on ConnectEd today. You're gonna do it on a piece of paper first. Okay. You will now look at your passages or sources. You will take notes, then you will plan, draft, revise, and edit your article. First, read your assignment and the information about how your informational article will be scored, then begin your work. Your class has been learning about how people can make a difference. Your assignment is to write an informational article that uses information about what you have learned about Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross. Use information from the two sources, helping build homes and helping people in need. For your article, tell how about how Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross are alike and different. So we are learning about how people can make a difference, right? So how can people make a difference with the Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross organizations? You're going to say, what are some similarities and differences that they have with each other? Your article must be several paragraphs long. Make sure to have a main idea and then support your main idea with details from the sources. Remember to use your own words and be sure to state your ideas clearly. Remember, a well-written article has a clear main idea. It needs to be well organized and stay on topic. You need to have an introduction and a conclusion. You need to use transition words. You need to use details from the sources to support your main idea. So don't forget the details. You need to develop ideas fully. You need to use clear language and you need to follow the rules of writing, which means your spelling, your punctuation, and your grammar needs to all be correct. You should not be spelling words incorrectly. Like if you're like, well, Miss Park, I don't know how to spell Habitat for Humanity, then you can reread. You can look back in the story and look, Habitat for Humanity. So none of these words should you be spelling incorrectly because all of the words will be in the passage. Now begin work on your informational article. Manage your time carefully so that you can plan, write, revise, and edit your article. Write your response on a separate sheet of paper. So I know we don't have too much time now, but you guys can get started on it now. You guys are going to be working on your informational writing. I want you guys to start on it today. I'm going to give you guys time after math and after social studies to work on it today too. Tomorrow, I want you to have finished writing your paragraph. And then I want you guys to, you guys are going to start typing it out tomorrow for ELA. So make sure you write it on a piece of paper first. Okay. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys a sample of what a second grader wrote. Now they wrote a lot, so I don't expect you to write that much, but this will give you an idea of what you should be writing. Okay. So here's a sample of what you're going to be writing. Okay. Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross make a difference by helping other people. So that is their introduction. They are alike in some ways, they are different in other ways. So they made their introduction a whole paragraph. They wrote 3 sentences, and that is totally okay. Yes, you're doing a writing test on a separate sheet of paper first, and then you're going to type out your writing on your computer tomorrow. Okay, so that was the introduction. Habitat for Humanity's main goal is to help people have a safe home. So this is going to be the difference. Okay, I'll answer your question in just a second. They build homes for people to make this happen. The American Red Cross helps people find places to stay after disasters. That housing might not be permanent. So they're giving us some similarities and differences already. So the Habitat for Humanity's main goal is to help people have a safe home, whereas the American Red Cross, they help people find places to stay after a disaster. It might not be a place that they can stay forever, but it's a place that they can stay after maybe their house was damaged from a tornado. The American Red Cross helps people when there are house fires or disasters like hurricanes. They give people food and medical care after their emergencies. Habitat for Humanity does not give food or medical care. So Habitat for Humanity helps build and repair houses. They don't give people medical care. I know that you said we read that in Habitat they pass out food, but they don't help pass out food for people who need help. They're basically just like helping pass out food like the kids are while people are building homes. The American Red Cross helps people in the armed forces and their families. The Red Cross helps soldiers stay in touch with their families. They also help soldiers' families. Habitat for Humanity builds houses for people. The American Red Cross teaches safety classes like first aid, swimming, and water safety, lifeguarding, and babysitting. Habitat for Humanity teaches people how to build houses. Both organizations have clubs and camps for children. Both Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross help people. Okay, so those are similarities. And then this is the conclusion. In conclusion, they are different in some of the ways that they help others. So let's look at how well this person did. Okay, did they have a clear main idea? Yes, they talked about the similarities and differences between the American Red Cross and Habitat for Humanity. Was it well organized and they stay on topic? Yes. Did it have an introduction and a conclusion? Yes. Did it have transition words? Let's see. Did they use transition words? They didn't have a lot of transition words like first, next, then last. So I think that you guys could do a better job tomorrow. They didn't use a lot of transition words for this one. Okay. Did they develop their ideas fully? Yes, they gave lots of information and they gave lots of examples. Did they use clear language? Yes. And then did they follow the rules of writing? Did they have spelling, punctuation, and grammar? Yes. So what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be writing your own paragraphs about how Habitat for Humanity and the American Red Cross are similar and different. You guys have about 5 minutes. So what you guys can do is you guys can get started. And then after math time today, you guys are going to continue to write it on a separate sheet of paper. All right. If you guys have questions, you guys can ask them now.